Okay.
I'm starting a new one here. This is a new recording here.
right.
We're a go.
Inching a go-go, baby.
I'm gonna fucking hit start on my timer so we don't go over. We
Okay.
get too much. You go ahead. Walk us in on this one too.
Okay.
Unless you don't want to.
Oh my gosh, I do it every time. No, it's fine. Hey guys, welcome back to Hoosier, Maine. It's Thursday night again. I'm Anthony,
And I'm Jared.
and we're going to talk about stuff. Go ahead and get on our lawn.
Torch bearing. Get on our lawn. We're talking about tonight. We're talking about torch bearing and who bears the torch of the long dead heroes of our youth. When we were young, we played games that were really fun. Oh wow, that kind of rhymed.
Nice.
Here's an for you. We'll leave that in. See, we're fallible.
Yeah.
So, we'll just start off with the big one. I feel like a lot of people, when we say this kind of a topic, this is the one that's going to come to people's mind who have played these kind of games. Harvest Moon. Also, I guess it was Story of Seasons. There's a whole fucking stink around that. You can Google that up and see how Harvest Moon is in Harvest Moon. It's actually Story of Seasons, blah, 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 blah. But we used to play these games when we were kids. They were on a lot of the Nintendo systems. They ended up on the Sony PlayStation at some point. Harvest Moon. We're still talking about Harvest Moon. Just stay with me here. And then this game came out. And we picked it up. I don't remember what year it came out in. It's Stardew Valley. The torchbearer of all torchbearers. Not only do they bear the torch, it is their torch now. What do you think about Stardew Valley? I think I know what you think, but let's let number 3, my lord, here listen to you talk about it for a minute.
Gosh dang, man. It's exactly how you said. It was a game that was so influential growing up. It was Harvest Moon. And then when it made that jump to PlayStation, it just didn't hit the same. It wasn't good. I'm not saying it was a bad game. It just wasn't as engrossing. I'm talking about Harvest Moon 64 here. It captured my full attention where I was like, okay, we gotta lock it up here. It's spring. These are the things we got to be growing. We got to go and talk to the fairy up in the mountains. You had everything down to a science. And then you go and play the PlayStation games and it was kind of like, oh, this isn't, I don't know. Something was just off. And for a long time, that PlayStation version of Harvest Moon just kept getting re-released. I was like, man, it's really not what I want. And then Stardew Valley came out and they were like, yeah, we agree. Here's the old school Harvest Moon game in a repackaged, renamed version. And oh my gosh, when that came out, I think you and I poured ourselves into that game. We had solo farms, we had multiplayer farms. To this day, I think you and I both, we just talked about it on a side quest. I think we both almost got all of the achievements for that game. We literally did a perfect run that we got like 10 million gold by summer 1. I mean, it's incredible. It's one of the best, like you said, torchbearers of all time.
And man, this is an indie game. It came out in 2016. I Googled it while you were talking about it. Really interesting. The PlayStation version of Harvest Moon, I believe, is the one that inspires Stardew Valley the most. My time on the PlayStation version of it, it's almost the same kind of concepts that were great about Harvest Moon, but amplified to 11. When we get to Stardew Valley, it's pulling from a lot of that stuff, like the Junimos, the harvest sprites, the really dynamic seasons where money came in at the same. It's almost the same thing too. Like fall, you can make a shit ton of money. It's like that kind of stuff. And the N64 one was my first Harvest Moon game. But then I went back and played the Super Nintendo one, and it was really great. They re-released it on the Game Boy Color. I played that one, and it was really good. It even had a mine in it, by the way. The other ones, you could go mining. That's my thing, guys. So you'll find out if we ever fucking release some gameplay footage of us playing those games. But, I mean, the indie torchbearer, it is the one. This is what spawned this conversational topic here. And going back and playing those old Harvest Moon games are worth your time. At least play one of them. Pick one and play one. Don't play the PS2 one. I'm going to say that. Don't play the GameCube one. Don't do that. Anything past the PlayStation. PlayStation is the good one, and then go back from there. Don't play the ones forward. I think that's what the one you're probably referring to is the PlayStation 2 one.
Yeah, now that you say that, you're correct. That is the one that I jumped to.
Yeah. But incredible. We're going to spend more time on that topic, Stardew Valley, and what we like about it. He was the resident fisher. I was the resident miner, and we didn't do much farming, I think, in our main farm. But we'll get back to that. Let's jump to another one. I did the first one. You pick the next one. What do you got?
Okay. Well, I'll do. This is kind of more recent one. We just picked it up. Well, I just picked it up on the last Steam sale. Rogue Heroes is kind of a throwback to the old school Zelda games. 4 swords. This is kind of, it spawned a topic that we did before, which is I don't really have a ton of experience in Zelda games. So for me, this was obviously it's referencing Zelda. I know what it's referencing. But it was a breath of fresh air where it's kind of like, oh, cool. It's Zelda, but it's got classes. You go into the dungeon and collect, gems and gold, and that kind of, you bring it back out and it builds up your town, and that allows you to get different unlocks. It was just a really cool indie game. I don't think it's on the same level of Stardew Valley or anything like that, but it's a really fun up to 4-player, also a single-player game that kind of, just has that same spark. You know what I mean? It's that spark that you get from indie games that you don't get from mainline games, where you can tell the people who made the game are passionate. They care about the game.
I'm interested in that game. That to be fair, that was the game that really spawned this idea that we would talk about this. But that game, I think, really encapsulates the 4 swords Zelda and the Triforce Heroes. Please, someone play that game with me. Please.
No.
I can't wait to dive into it. I was really interested in it. I'm probably going to play a little bit by myself because I went ahead and picked it up because, you were talking about it. But if we're going to stay on the topic of Zelda games and torchbearers, maybe not like you said, the Rogue Heroes maybe isn't the best one. Like Stardew Valley is such a great example of how to do it right, how to pay homage to the past, but then take it and make it your own and create the genre and run with it. I played a little bit of this game called Blossom Tales. There's a second one. It's really interesting. It's a really good Zelda game. If you are looking for a Zelda that is like the old Zelda games, top-down puzzle games with swords and boards, lots of cool equipment, nice little story about saving the castle, kind of thing. It's good. Have you played that one?
No.
What's your next pick for the torch bearing? Let's
go
back and forth. Go ahead.
I'll jump in. Yeah, we'll
ahead.
alternate. Yeah, I kind of talked about this one previously, but it's not available anymore. This is locked on the PlayStation 3, but this game is called Backbreaker, and it literally was spawned because the Madden series of football games had gotten so bad that people were clamoring for a new version of football, and it had to be real football. For a long, some of you guys listening might not even know this. In the 2000 teens, the only option that you had was Madden, and that's still true to this day. But before, there used to be 2K Sports had a game, NFL Blitz had a game. I mean, there were multiple sources of getting a football game, and then Madden signed this exclusivity deal. The only game that you could play was Madden Football, and it had gotten so bad that people were clamoring for something new. And this game Backbreaker came out, and it was literally everything that the fans had wanted. It was physics-based tackling, no more canned animations. Granted, they couldn't use the NFL license, so you didn't have real players. And it was just a breath of fresh air in a game that had really, there was no equal. You couldn't get anything like it anywhere else. And then unfortunately, like I said, it was locked on the PlayStation 3, and you can no longer get it anywhere else. You have to play it on PlayStation 3. I know. Obviously, you don't play sports games quite at the same level that I do, but man, it's so hard to describe. We kind of talked about it before when we were talking about those Mario sports games. It's incredibly hard to explain what makes a good sports game to somebody who doesn't play sports games. But it's exactly like what we were talking about with those other games. I think Harvest Moon had gotten kind of stale, and that's what allowed Stardew Valley to grow. It was this same scenario where Madden had gotten stale, and then Backbreaker came, shook up the market or the meta or whatever you want to call it, and then immediately afterwards, Madden starts having the exact same features in their game, and then Backbreaker gets completely forgotten. But it did what it was supposed to do. It shook up the market, made Madden better, and then now we're right back to where we were again.
See, that's the other thing that indie games do when they come out like that. They really push the original brand to go back to basics, man. Like, tap into your market. Quit doing the same thing over and over, thinking it's good enough. Now you have a competition, even if it's coming from like one guy. Like the Stardew Valley game was made by one guy. One guy. Of course, I see that as a mighty feat of strength. I'm going to keep referencing it probably the whole freaking time. But you're right. I haven't really played a lot of sports games in the capacity that you have, and I wouldn't know what to look for. Like if I'm trying to get you a game on Steam, and I'm like, man, I hope this is a good game. So I have to read the reviews, but like, is this good? It's going to be good enough for him. But it sucks that that game is locked on the PS3 too. Like, how many games are like that were? I don't know.
Oh, I could make a whole list. You know, we've obviously got a list of talking points here for Torchbearer indie games. I could make an entire list of games that are locked on PlayStation 3 that I would love to get, even if they're not remade. Like you had talked about it, just put things on Steam. Put games that are locked on the PlayStation 3 or on old Nintendo hardware, put those things on Steam and let the next generation play those games.
I'm mostly a Steam user now, I feel like. So, or just if it's on the PC somehow, that's where I'm playing. Not that my rig is slowly, quickly aging out, but I don't know. That'd be a really interesting topic to dive into. Somebody send me a message. Tell me some stuff that's locked in or that's like Backbreakers, that's locked in, and it was a Torchbearer and it deserved to go. Oh, yeah, I know a big one right now that people will probably slay people over. I don't know, the Bloodborne.
Oh yeah, good call. Yeah,
isn't that a PS3 game?
It's a PS4 game only, and not only that, but it has. I think actually there was a demake of it that got shut down, and there was also a patch for the PlayStation 5 that one guy made himself that basically removed the 30 frames per second lock, and Sony shut that down, and they were like, stop it.
We might quit making it better than we do.
Yeah, exactly. How dare you?
Sometimes that happens. See, and those people, folks, if you have an idea for your own fan game, don't make a fan game. Make it indie in the same genre game, and keep advertising it as like this game. Do that.
Yeah.
Please, for the love of God.
What's going to end up happening is you're going to spend 4 years of your life pouring your heart and soul into a game, and then you're going to get a cease and desist letter, and it's going to crush everything that you've done, and there's nothing you could do about it.
All that work, hours, and time, and networking, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works out. Sometimes you're making a Sonic game and it works out. It'll work out every time. Sega loves you.
Yeah, and other times you're making a mod for Fallout 3 or 4. I don't remember which one it was, and then it shuts down Bethesda and they get bought by Xbox.
Good. Good. Speaking of Sonic games, there's a little indie developer that they don't really need to bear the torch of Sonic. He's coming back, and that's good. It's good to see that. But I played this. I bought this game, Spark the Electric Gesture game. There's a couple of them. I've got I think the third one, and it plays like an adventure game, but like unlocked, if you will. Instead of you go that way, it's go any which way. It's really crazy. It's pretty fun. I don't know as far as the creative direction. I don't think the creator really cared too much about the story so much. The story's fun. I like it. But the gameplay is where it's really, really at. It's really fun. Fun run around, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think Sonic is a really good example of a mainline franchise where they just couldn't figure it out. You know what I mean? It was amazing on Sega Genesis. I mean, that essentially carried them through the Dreamcast era. And then they just couldn't figure out how to make those games 3D. And you have kind of championed this cause of going back and playing old Sonic games, and it's kind of rekindled your joy of those games. Whereas I kind of got burned one too many times, and I was just like, you can have it, kind of a deal. And so, yeah, I think the other thing that's really cool about seeing indie games like this, which you just said, is it shows that one person isn't good at everything, right? So if I'm going to make an indie game, maybe my art style isn't very good. Maybe Stardew Valley is a great example of that. Maybe my sound design isn't the best, but I just have one thing that I'm really, really good at, and that's enough to hook you. And then it's like, there you go, boom, I've got it. And sometimes that's all it takes is just one guy who's really passionate about a franchise or a style of game, and then they can revitalize it for everyone.
I'm about to go here because number one, my lord, you said a lot of good stuff. Here's the thing: is went through all the Sonic games recently. I played like all the ones that I missed. I replayed the ones that I love because I had Sonic Adventure 2 on the GameCube when that came out, and I've championed that game forever. Never got to play Shadow the Hedgehog. Never got to play Sonic 06. There's a lot of bullshit around that game. Never got to play the next, so on and so forth. There is an extremely great community around the Sonic games on YouTube. There's all these Sonic content creators that were just incredible to watch and hear them talk about. That's a whole episode, bag of worms. There's another thing that I want to say, which was the transition from 2D to 3D with Sonic and Mario. I don't know if I'll be able to hold on to the ideas I was going to comment about. You said that the Concerned Apes art style isn't good. What are we doing here?
Hey! Here's what I want you to do.
I'm going to write this down.
Chat, here's what I want you to do. I want you to pull up your internet browser, and on one tab, I want you to look up Harvest Moon 64 cows. And then on the other tab, I want you to pull up Stardew Valley cows. And I want you to tell me who's better. And if you think Stardew Valley's cows are better than Harvest Moon 64 cows, I don't know how to help you.
Our line in the sand was just drawn, and I'm going to take you down. You draw some fucking cows today. Let me see them.
Well, when I make a farming sim, you can see my cows.
Oh. Yeah. So anyway, folks. You email me or him with who's right.
Yeah, you draw a cow and you send it in.
Whoever sends me an email more than him, then I get the horn next time we play Baldur's Gate 3. That's what's going to happen here.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
I'll get the horn. There's going to be a poll, maybe. If I figure out how to make a poll, I'm making a poll.
Yeah, when we get 77 followers.
I'm making a poll. Is Harvest Moon cows better than Stardew Valley cows? Why are we picking the cows?
Because the cows are the best animal?
No.
What do you think? You think it's chickens?
What? Wait, hold on. We talking about Stardew Valley, or are we talking about Harvest Moon?
I'm asking you.
I'm telling you, it's the slimes.
Oh, well, that's not fair.
That's fair.
Okay, fine. Stardew Valley has pretty good slimes. I'll give you that.
And they got void chickens. They're void chickens in Harvest Moon.
Well, that's just a different colored sprite.
What about blue chicken? No, well then no. What are we doing?
Over here arguing about colors.
Hey, go back. I need to talk about for a second the transition from 2D to 3D and how gaming in general just like struggled with that in a way that created things that are awesome today because of it. Some of you didn't have to struggle with people trying to figure out how to make cameras in games, and it shows. Time to go back and play some old games, folks. Time to go back and play Mario 64. What side-by-side comparison, Mario 64, Mario Odyssey. Go and do that. And realize that's the first Mario game that they had a 3D character in. Sonic Adventure. Go back and play Sonic Adventure, and then play whatever the latest. Play Frontiers for fuck's sake, I guess. Fuck me. Hey, and Capcom, get on my lawn. Somebody made a fucking mod for Mario 64 with Mega Man X and a 3D and Mega Man X in Mario 64. Whew. It's an incredible. That looks incredible.
That would actually be pretty cool. Yeah, that would actually be pretty cool.
Look though, they put Zero in. They put Mega Man in, and it works. It just works. I was like, why does it work? That looks awesome. Jumping off the walls, shooting charge shots in 3 dimensions. Come on. I'm ready. So, back on topic here.
Yeah.
Before this becomes a side quest of its own, Mega Man. We're on the Mega Man topic. I got 3 games on this list for Mega Man. We don't have to spend a lot of time because I didn't play Shovel Knight. Oh, I need to play Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight's considered a Mega Man, I guess. I don't know why. But because he's blue, and it's Mega Man, not X. Mega Man is what I read.
It's just that, I think it's just that style of the old internet meme of jumping and shoot man. I think Shovel Knight does a really good job of, you play through a intricate level, you get to a boss, you fight the boss, and then you move on. I think that style of game is, I don't know, it's either really good or it's really bad. And I think Shovel Knight was really good because it felt really good. And all of that comes down to, like you said, the way that something looks or something feels, that translates to good gameplay. And so I think because Shovel Knight was such a well-made game, that translated to people going, oh, okay, yeah, it feels good to play. It's obviously there's no shooting. You have a shovel. But the mechanics in that are good enough to translate to Mega Man. And so for me, Shovel Knight was kind of one of those games where you could take it or leave it. But I do think that's a good one to champion, as you can kind of point to it and say, look, that's an example of somebody being very passionate about Mega Man. And then instead of, I'm going to make a Mega Man clone, they put their own spin on it. You know, they made it into, instead of a future, Mega Man is set in the future, you've got all these powers, he's a robot man, you just go backwards and he's a knight. I think that's an incredible, a genius move of creativity.
So you played it.
Yeah.
Good. I got some questions. Number 1, okay. Would maybe original Ninja Gaiden fit it a little more? Do you get powers in this game? I've never played it.
True. That's a really good, those old school side scroller Ninja Gaiden, I think it was just called Shinobi. Those games where you almost pick up power-ups. Those are really good examples of that. Like a Castlevania-like type game. I don't know. Yeah, that's a really good example of that. Yeah.
Well, Castlevania, I would say, unless Shovel Knight is, here's your level, here's your boss, that's a Mega Man format. Whereas Castlevania is like, explore the map, find the boss, kill the boss. So I don't know.
Yeah, so then I would definitely say it's more Mega Man in that way. Then.
Oh, okay. See, I still want to play it. It's got everything I need. We'll get to that. I'm gonna continue into the Mega Man, and then there is an example of Ninja Gaiden, and you were right. There was a Shinobi game. They did have a PS2 Shinobi game. If you've never played it and you're a Shinobi fan, you should check it out. The best thing about that game is the amazing scarf physics that are going on. Fuck, even if you don't want to play it, go look up a video of it and be amazed by the visual glory of the Shinobi. Sorry, I went into...
Nice. Was that Macho Man? That's good.
I think I just went into Macho Man by accident because I was freaking out. Okay, back on topic here.
Yeah, get back in here. You got 2 more games.
I'm going to build up to the one that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
I was just playing it. He was watching me while I was eating his dinner. But first we'll start with the Mega Man Zero that I just played, I need to go in 100% because it was very fun. If you're into the Mega Man Zero games, there's 4 of them. They were on the Game Boy Advance. Very difficult games. Capcom threw the Mega Man X series into the hands of this wonderful company I can't remember the name of. Good, great, sorry, Google it. That's really mean, I'm sorry. Anyway.
Well, they should already have 2 tabs open with cows, so just open a 3rd tab and Google it.
Okay.
Is that what we're going to do tonight? We're going to fight?
Yeah, I'm ready. Gravity Circuit, folks.
There you go.
Fuck, it's awesome. Dude, the gameplay is awesome. It's even closer quarters than Mega Man Zero. Zero, you had a spear, you had the sword, you even had the gun. This game, you have your fists, man. And it's got like a combo system. There's physics. When you hit the boss, they fly off and you can combo them like you're in a fighting game. Oh, man, it's a great experience. I had to show you that game one night. Really fun. Really great to see. It's just great to see anything that seems like Mega Man, plays like Mega Man, and feels that good. Feels that good to play, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Go ahead and hit us with the big one, because this, I know this is like your pride and joy right here.
Right now it is. I just started getting the achievements for this game. I bought this game when it came out. because I was so excited to see a 2-player Mega Man X game. It's a 2-player Mega Man X game. You can play it online. It's fucking awesome. If you love Mega Man X, which I know there's like 10 of us out there. If you're listening, you somehow missed this. It's 20XX and then 30XX. I'm going to bump them together because they're basically the same, kind of. Not really. 30XX improves a lot of the things that were going on in 20XX, but I have a really soft spot for these characters now that are in this game and in this series. It's a roguelike also, so that's something to keep in mind, where Mega Man X's format was always like remember, memorize, and then plow through. This was their tagline. It like sings to me. It's like an aria while I'm asleep. Jump, shoot, forever. I'm like, oh,
That's awesome.
oh, you can't. And then the songs are just bops all day. Bop, bop, bop. Yeah, that's a good torchbearer. I'd love to see them to make 40XX with a story, a strong story, with their characters. Oh man, they got a good story. And okay, maybe I should shut up because not completed 30XX all the way yet. You got to beat it a bunch of times on harder difficulties to get like the secret ending. So that's a ways off for me because I got to get good. And I'm old.
Yeah, no spoilers, chat.
No spoilers. You go ahead. What do you got?
All right.
What's your torchbearer?
Well, you were kind of ranting and raving, and it jogged my memory of my very brief period with the PlayStation Vita. And there was a game on there. I know obviously it's not just on Vita, but that's where I played it. It's a game called Axiom Verge. And it's kind of a Metroidvania style game, Castlevania, Super Metroid, smashed into one genre. And it's exactly what you were just describing. It's kind of one of those deals where it's a indie game made by people who are passionate about this style of game. And oh my gosh, man, the sound design, I believe it's pixel art. I don't 100% remember, but I just remember the art style being incredible. These real visceral locations, and your guy getting the power-ups and getting different areas unlocked because of that. Those style of games where you're paying homage to older style games, I love that. I think that's a great way to, like you said, carry the torch of those who came before you and then making it better for the next guy. You're making that genre better by adding to it. And now every game going forward will have something from these new games that, went before you. I love it.
That Metroidvania style, I don't think it can get old. It's too good. It's too fun. Make more games in that style. There's so many. And I did Google it while you were talking about it because I kind of remembered it, but I haven't played that either. It is a pixel art style, which I love pixel art. Okay? Pixel art is so awesome. I've made some pixel art. The portraits of our video or our podcast, I made those. And I learned a lot from pixel artists. And pixel artists are extremely interesting folk. And they can teach you color theory faster than any art school.
Yeah. I mean, this is coming from somebody. Handheld gaming is your realm. That's your area of expertise. For me, this is for anybody listening. Go out and look on eBay if you can find one for cheap. If you can find the original model PlayStation Vita, it's got an OLED screen back before that was even a popular thing. Playing games on that is some of the most fun I've had. I'm talking console, PC, handheld, whatever. The PlayStation Vita is a treasure trove of people pouring passion projects into these games that maybe they didn't sell very well. Maybe you go out and try to find the games on eBay and they're going to cost hundreds of dollars because there's only like 200 copies in circulation. But the people who made the games were so passionate about them that every single one was amazing. It was like everything that you bought or played, it was so cool. It was such a unique experience. And like you said, there's a ton of them that I still haven't played. I would love to play if we can find the time to get them. But I think just that genre of I'm going to keep old style of games alive, and whatever system it takes to make that happen, that'll be my system. Whether it's PlayStation or Nintendo or PC gaming, whatever it may be, championing that genre for yourself, I think that's incredibly cool. And like you said, unique things come out of it. You can learn how to make your own games, your own pixel art, whatever it may be, because you're inspired by those games.
I love now that pixel art is a choice. I love now that we're starting to see PlayStation 1 graphics are a choice. It's a choice that artists are making when they're making games, especially indie developers. This entire episode here is homage to all those folks out there making indie developing and taking the risk and taking the time to make something that is truly special, truly a project of passion. And it's great to see. It's great to see that nostalgia now. It's not nostalgia now. It's a choice. It's an art style choice, and I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
What other games you got? What else?
I had one more on my list, and I think we've already talked about this on the podcast, but I'm going to bring it up again. It deserves it. This game is called Broforce, and this is a Contra clone. And this is my jam right here. If you want to get me interested in a game, you put explosions, you put hyper nationalistic American flags, like we are USA and we're damn proud, that shake your fist, and we're going to have Arnold Schwarzenegger as our poster boy, even though he's, it was like literally stealing from the movies that they were taken from. Who cares? Put Arnold Schwarzenegger in from Commando, put Ripley in from Aliens, like put these hyper macho machismo people together and then just let them tear through the levels and blow stuff up. I can't even describe to you the joy that I had playing that game. Now, granted, it's incredibly difficult, which I think most Contra clones are. You could probably say the same about a lot of the stuff that we have on this list, but oh my gosh, the joy that I had. A lot of times we talk about the soundtrack of a game. The soundtrack of explosions in Broforce was just a symphony of fireballs and destruction, and it was amazing. Have you? I don't know. Did you ever play that when your brother and I played it together? Bryce and I played it together?
No, and actually the last time you talked about it, I was editing that episode, and I Googled it up because I'd forgotten that you had talked about it and put it on my wish list of I need to pick up, we need to play it. Because the great thing that's a marriage of a lot of things that happened when we were kids. The machismo stuff, all those kind of Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, they were the guys. And this game is kind of like the Expendables, but like we have Expendables at home.
Exactly, yeah.
But it's so cool. And like there were so many things that were going on in the videos for that game, and I was like really excited about. I really like the callback to Doom down in the corner with the character's face, and it's like like every time you're shooting the gun, they like get like a facial expression. I was like, wow,
yeah.
I want to play that game. That game looks fucking awesome. Ah, man, I was like really excited about it. I was like, oh my god, I gotta get that. I hope if I could just get some coins to rub together, I could buy it. And then what am I gonna do? Play it? Have time to play it? Hopefully,
right.
But you gotta understand too, like that. The reason that I think that you're saying that is about this game is which I just said, I guess, but we were watching these movies as kids. We were watching Arnold Schwarzenegger hang out the side of a fucking helicopter with a gun. I think I said that in a previous podcast too, because I repeat it often. But these characters, these hyper unrealistic men, they were pure entertainment. And then we had the video games of that time were like that. And then there was a third thing that I'm sure is in that game is fucking metal. Metal was really popular then. And so when you get all three of those things together, you got me. You got me.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I think that's I don't think we do a full playthrough of that game because I do remember it being fairly long, surprisingly. But yeah, that would definitely be like a cool YouTube short. Do like a minute long playthrough of that. And you would literally 60 seconds of that game, you know exactly what it's about.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm here for it.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. I went on my rant. Go ahead and pick your next torchbearer.
We've still got quite a few here. We may have to go to another episode just so we don't go too long. We're getting close to time. But which one should we end on? We'll end on... Let me think for a second. We'll end on Messenger.
Okay.
This is the Ninja Gaiden like incredible pixel art in this game. incredible soundtrack. The storyline is hilariously funny and fun. And it's just a wonderful experience. It's a wonderful romp through nostalgia brought to now. I think it's probably on par, or maybe to a Ninja Gaiden person, which I played the original Ninja Gaiden games. I beat them. They were very difficult and fun. Go back and play them if you haven't. All you Dark Souls folks who've never gone back and played a hard game, Ninja Gaiden's your guy. She's going to get gutted.
I think anytime you are talking about difficult games like that, Ninja Gaiden, The Messenger, whatever it may be, the thing that makes those things stand out in my mind when I'm playing them, you need to have really tight controls. And I think what The Messenger does a good job of is anytime you die or you mess up or anything like that, it's my fault. It's not the game's fault that I lost a life. It's always my fault. And I think that's one thing that Ninja Gaiden did really well. Anytime you're playing a game like that, you want to have these really tight controls so that you're able to play the game you want to. You want to have a one-to-one connection of this is the button I'm pressing, this is what happens. It either connects and lands and I do the killing blow and I win, or I lose and I fail. And it's like, okay, it wasn't the game's fault that I lost. I'm not mad because there was lag or delay or anything like that. It was my fault that I lost, and you can get better because of that. And I think that's one thing those games do a really good job of.
Yeah, and just the Messenger being a great torchbearer. And really, I mean, this list that we have here is still pretty long. So we're going to go ahead and put it on to a part 2. It's good to end on the Messenger, though. I think it's a great game that if you haven't played it, get out there and play it.
I agree.
What do you say? Close it for the night?
I think so. See ya.